Got it. Let me get it.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Big Ed here, and right behind me, I am determined to get some information out to you guys. Today with me, I have Sturdy, and he has an awesome program. Not only a program, but he's a great personal speaker, motivator. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Let's go right on into what sturdy means. Sturdy is short for Sturdivant. It's short for my last name. I made a company out of it, but everybody called me Sturdy. And I said, what does really sturdy mean to me? Just to me. And for me, it meant success takes ultimate resilience, determination, inspiration. And that's how I came up with sturdy. People been calling me sturdy all of my life.
So how does that like translate though? I mean, what do you do with that? I mean, I know that's a lot there, but what are you doing to get that information, and who is your target audience?
Well, my target audience is really anybody
Mhm.
who needs an upliftment. So it could be from adolescent age up to adults. I think sturdy kind of speaks for a success for itself. Like everybody wants in their own right to be a success, but you have to take something and to be determined about it and then have ultimate resilience, determination, and inspiration. It speaks for itself no matter where you are and what level you are on. So when I preach the sturdy lifestyle, I'm just going in. And as you see with your determined period, that your determined is even within the sturdy name. So that's a common theme that's going on that you have to keep moving and going on and going on.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I came up with we were talking about this,
Yeah,
and there's a lot of ups and downs in life, and when life gets you down, you could either, quit, get off to the sidelines, or get on the field and just keep
sure.
plugging and
Sure.
moving forward.
Yeah,
So the words determined period is that's a mantra,
yeah.
and that's part of your mantra also. But to being determined to just keep moving forward and doing whatever it takes, and there's a lot of things that I'm learning along the way. I mean, making that adjustment from education side of
Mm-hmm,
things to
mm-hmm.
become a business owner, oh my goodness. To me, that was a huge, huge learning curve. And it's still a huge learning curve. I have
Sure.
many mentors. People are trying to help me. Sometimes they're praying to St. Jude because they think I'm the patron saint of hopeless cases, but I'm learning so much,
Uh-huh.
and but I'm becoming determined. And that's why the mantra, the mindset of becoming determined, period. That's it. You don't have no choice.
There's
When
no
your
other
back's up
choice.
against the wall,
Yep.
you have the opportunity to say, look, I'm going to either fold like a piece of origami or I'm going to move forward.
Well, I'm gonna tell you some funny thing. Me and you both played football at University of Maryland College Park. That's Division
Right.
One. So
Yeah.
we played that intense sport that where you're going to either meet somebody head on, and then you're either going to get knocked on your back, you're going to stalemate, or somebody's going to get knocked on their back. It's
Yeah.
just that simple. It's three things. You're going to knock somebody on their back, you're going to stalemate, or you're going to get knocked on your back. And there's plenty times within our careers that we have gotten knocked on our backs.
Mm-hmm.
And I've transferred that into life. And I look at it like anytime you get knocked on your back, you have to learn from that experience, but you have to learn how to get up once you get knocked on your back. And it's how you get up once you get knocked on your back. And I'm a true believer in this. I'm a true believer. Sometimes you have to suffer to grow. It's just like anything else, man. Like you have to build emotional calluses in your head. All right. Just like you do in your hands when we're lifting, but you have to
Right.
build emotional calluses in your head. Say, you know what? I'm not going to allow this to happen to me again. So when
Right.
I get knocked on, my emotion cannot get to me. It has to be, let's go with where we have our common theme, determined
Right.
to get back up and to go either try again, to do it again, and to keep doing it till you succeed.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people say like the sign of insanity is keep doing things over and over again and trying to
Uh-huh.
get the same results and all that stuff. You know, um, the one thing that I'm finding out in the business world, and I'm sure it translates to regular life, is having a system is probably one of the most important things.
Sure.
And I'm sharing this with people because to me, I was always like a guy. I'm a creative guy, thinking outside the box guy, coming up with an idea guy. But having these systems and those systematic ways of going about your business every single day, I
Mhm.
think what I'm seeing is their value in that. And I'm 51 years old. I'm not a young guy, okay?
Right, right. You
But
look young though, Ed. You looking
yeah, and you're
young.
trying to get this information, and it segues into what you're trying to do is get your information to youngsters. You work with kids all the time,
Sure. Yeah.
so
I have
kids.
over
Yeah.
15-year career working with children. I know I've made impact with children. I still continue to do. It's just one of those things where I think you got to continue to plant seeds in others
Hmm.
for you to grow too as well, because you have to own your own stuff of
No
what you
kidding.
speak. You
I
have to, let me
know.
say it again, Ed. You have to own
Own
your
your.
own stuff.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
lack
you
of
already know
better
what I was gonna
word.
say, but you have to
Yeah.
own your own stuff of what you're speaking to hold your own self accountable. And if you don't, then guess what? You're not the person who you're speaking about or who you're
Yeah.
trying to speak to.
You got to be real. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing
So you have
is,
to
you
have
got to
some
be real, and
authenticity
you
to
got to
you.
be real with yourself.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
hardest part, the thing here is like, oh, well, you know what? I'm this, I'm that. I was listening to Tony Robbins the other day. I mean, he's awesome. I mean, if you
Yeah,
ever just get a chance, and I'm sure you have.
of
But
course.
he was talking about, like, if you look in the mirror and if you tell yourself, you compromise with yourself and you say, oh, man, I'm not as bad. I'm not as bad as this guy. No, you look in the mirror, and if you want to lose weight, you got to be honest. You're brutally
Right.
honest with yourself and say, listen, I'm fat. I got to lose weight. And I know you've been losing weight, something
Yeah.
all my life I've been struggling with, but it is what it is.
So Ed, I'm gonna tell you this, and I just learned this morning,
Right.
and this is what I want to kind of put out there. Somebody told me that you have to change the eyeball test. Okay.
Mm.
So within yourself, you have to change what the eyeball test is. And the eyeball test is really the way people perceive you. People
Yeah.
will not believe you, all right, with their eyeballs, because perception is everything, but people will not believe you, all right, unless you change your own perception of you. And that's
Yeah.
something that could be
Oh my
so
God.
that could be something so small. So yeah, I'm on a weight loss journey right now. I'm on a
Right.
I'm on a I'm on a mental, physical strength weight loss journey. Okay. I went from 305 pounds, I'm down to 285 pounds. I plan
Mm.
to get down to 275 pounds. And guess what? The perception is like, hey, he's getting himself physically healthy because he wants to be mentally healthy, because it's a mindset. And it's something that could be simple as you want to do it. Like the eyeball test could be training. The eyeball test could be your mind, your body, your spirit. Your eyeball test can be your walk, how you walk, simple things. Your smile, how you bring your positivity out, your personality. People can change their personalities, Ed. You already know
Right.
that.
Right.
Okay. The way you groom yourself, like how you present yourself. These are simple eyeball tests that you can be
Mm.
consistent with that can
Yeah.
make change in somebody else's eyes.
You know what? You're absolutely right. That's the one thing. And it comes down to this, what you said was so important. It's what's perception is what other people's reality is, and what you project.
Yeah.
And we've all been guilty of, if I'm not feeling good, I'm not feeling well, I'm not feeling good about myself. You're projecting that out.
Yeah.
So you have to heal what's on the inside first
Yeah.
before you can show that strength on the outside,
Let
and
me
all
let me
those
tell
things
you.
have to come in from the inside,
Yeah.
and
And
that's hard. It's not always easy, man. Let's
it's
be
not.
honest.
Oh no, let's be honest with you. For men, women, children, it doesn't make a difference. It's not always easy.
Right.
Like everybody has had an obstacle, everybody has suffered, and everybody has failed at
Hmm.
some point of time within their life. I'm a personal believer that it could be relationships, it could be grief and loss, it
Hmm.
could be anything that everybody's had a point to where they have suffered. You have to change your own personal perception of you. And it's something so small, because sometimes we as people, and I'm saying this for myself, okay, we don't give ourselves a chance at all to grow. Okay. if you did, and I'm gonna say that again, we do not give ourselves a chance to grow through the suffering, through the pain. And the thing about it is, you can make you know, sometimes you don't know how close you are to success, okay? But you have to give yourself one sacrifice and be consistent with it a day. So I'll give you an example of a sacrifice. Okay, let's go with the weight loss journey. Okay, weight loss journey is if I work out an extra 15 minutes a day, I'm going to show more progress than when I didn't do that extra 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Okay, it's anything, but if you make that one small sacrifice towards your dream, I'm talking about whatever. It could be waking up a little bit earlier, not hitting that snooze button. Okay, it could be pushing away from the table, and I'm going to use it with my Sturdi company. Is that if I don't put myself out there, I'm talking about with one sentence saying to an administrator or to a president of a corporation, say, hey, I would love to be your guest speaker or
Yeah.
your next keynote speaker.
Sure.
That one sentence, if I don't put myself out there, I will never get an opportunity to speak in front of people. And Ed, I have changed that one thing, and I'm proud to say this. I have had my first paid speaking engagement last week.
That's it. That's awesome right there.
Just by asking, hey, do you need a keynote speaker? And
Right.
since then, okay, in the upcoming next 3 months, I have over 8 speaking engagements. So you know how that makes me feel?
Oh man, that's a win.
No, I have over 8. I have an account. And then it makes me feel like, yeah, my dream is starting.
Yeah.
It's being consistent. As you know, not only you being determined, you sell homes. You have to be consistent.
Oh, yeah. I was just about to bring that up because here's the thing, and this is I have great leaders. I have great people that one of my mentors, and he's also a friend, is Mark McKenna. I work with Mark. And that's his big thing is staying consistent, building the system, making phone calls.
Yeah.
Everybody's afraid to cold call sometimes, just because.
yeah, because you get rejection.
Because you get rejection. Nobody wants to feel that rejection. Everybody, But yesterday, by making a couple calls, I picked up 2 clients off of 20 calls. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
So here's the thing. I mean, you don't know. You got to work with people, and you never know what it pans out. This is business. So, but the thing is, you got to get out of your comfort zone, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Your comfort zone was, look, I'm afraid to ask because you don't want that rejection. That's what it comes down to. Yep. And having those conversations, like, you got to be willing to take that rejection piece, but learn from that rejection piece. Sure. It's kind of like right now we're having this conversation, doing this Zoom. I'm not a regular Zoomer, but I'm putting myself out there. So to say, look, we want to get this information out to people so they hear the same thing. They hear, like, you know what? Nobody's perfect. Just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean you're rich.
Not at all.
Rich is defined by many things.
Yeah.
Some of the most free people in the world are people who just found out the value in things and making memories with others. I'm not going to go down that road, okay? What I'm saying to you, you said a couple important things right here. One thing you talked about is suffering. And if you're a student of history, like I was, and I was a history teacher, talk about Buddha. And then actually, a lot of people, there's the 2 versions of the Buddha. Now the Buddha, there's the Asian version where he's heavy and all that stuff. But the true Buddha was a prince. And he went through the Eightfold Path and all this good stuff. But the one thing he talked about was suffering. And he goes, life is full of suffering. But it's what you learn from that suffering. And I'm not going to give you the whole religious experience here, but I'm just telling you that, you're not the first one to come up with this concept or idea of suffering, because it's so true. If you study like history and things over time, you learn from that. And because you don't want to be there, you don't want to stay there.
Right.
And it's so hard when you're there, man. When you're there, you're like, oh my God, am I ever going to get out of this mess?
Yeah.
But you turn the negatives into positives.
Yeah.
And that's so important. I know you're talking about that also, like taking
Right.
those
Yeah.
pieces of negativity and turning them into positive.
Yeah. There's an old saying, well, it's not even old, it's new, and I probably made it up, but somebody said this before, that greatness is overcoming boundaries.
Yeah.
Greatness is overcoming boundaries, I try to say positive statements to myself every morning. It's time to get on my grind. I'm going to be great today. I am here and determined that I will impact somebody's life today.
Yeah.
I will make 3 positive phone calls today to help inspire somebody. Okay. I will take control of my own personal situation.
Mm-hmm.
No, these are all things. I'm committed to this life. You know what I'm saying? To this life of mine, you have one life. I'm committed to this life. And then I think of different things that what I'm committed to. I'm a God-fearing man. I'm family oriented. I'm trying to create some type of generational wealth, start
Mm-hmm.
that process.
Right.
I believe in sturdy. I believe in sturdy.
Right.
Okay. And that's not only my company, but myself. But I believe in the acronyms, what it said. And I try my hardest that I believe in the qualities and values of trust, loyalty, and respect.
Mm-hmm.
And keep myself humble with all that. And then I have built a village around me and a foundation of people who really, truly love and support me.
Yeah. I mean, that's so important because
Yeah.
building that thing and building those relationships is so important, and getting people that are going to support you. And that's why you and we talk a lot. I mean, honestly, we do, because we want to help each other, get each other down. And when we're down, I mean, and
Well, we're
then
our support systems, Ed.
yeah, because I
Yeah,
mean,
like
look,
and I don't mean to cut you off, Ed, because I
go
want you to
ahead.
think about this too. I think we as men,
Mm-hmm.
you know, large men, we have these big statures that we have to control and take on the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do not have an outlet to communicate, and I'm talking about a vulnerable safe space to communicate. And I
Yeah.
teach this to all of the people who I talk with, especially kids, that you have to create a safe space with an adult so you can be vulnerable and speak so nobody judges you. Sometimes you just need a listening ear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And sometimes you need some type of inspiration or some goal driven, some thought process questions to make sure that you could think about how to get yourself better for the day. And
Right.
we do that. Like for the last week, you've called me up every morning at 7:30.
Yeah.
It's what it is. And then guess what? That's my wake up call. Say, oh, that's Ed calling. Let's go ahead and get going because I know he believes in determined. I got to get sturdy. I got to do this. We got to intertwine these two things. And I think where a lot of issues come that males have a disconnect of being able to express themselves to other males. It's very rare that we are our own support system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good friend of mine yesterday. Of course, we play football with him, Doug Burnett.
Yeah, Dougie. Yeah.
Better known as Juice, baby. But he
Mm-hmm.
reached out to me. He reached out to me yesterday and was like, I'm just doing a brother check-in. I know you're going through it. I know you're trying. He knows my whole situation. But he said, like, I'm just doing a brother check-in. And I said, I'm doing good. He said, well, look, if you need, and this is exactly what he said, if you need me to come over and treat you like your coach did, which was
Yeah.
my coach in the football team and my father, I'll do so. Because those were true men that I looked up to and respected.
Yeah. And that's what it comes down to.
And that's what it comes down to. So when I work with children, especially, I try to be that influential male with a positive outlook, somebody they can look up towards to and walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, just because you want, but the kids know a phony. Kids
Yeah.
know a phony more than anybody else.
Oh,
They can
hands down.
tell, because we were both working schools that maybe they had economic challenges and whatnot. Okay,
Mhm.
both of us did, and the sheer fact is, they want to know. Kids want to know that you're real, that you're with them, that you're going to stay with them, that you're not going to, break away and just so. Kudos to you for that, for keeping along that path for sure. Because
Sure.
You know, and to stay in that determined, and let me just talk about like determined period a little bit, because you know it's a mantra, it's a lifestyle that I'm going to that I'm going to really focus on taking on. It's one thing that I've been hit or miss, but the goal is to be determined, period, to make your life better. And we're going to do these little chats and followings and things like that
Sure,
to
sure.
hopefully get everybody that's, you know, wants to make a change, a positive change in their lives. There's going to be times that life's going to kick you in the ass, like you, oh, excuse my French. There's going to be times that life's going to kick you in the ass like it never been kicked before. But guess
Right.
what? You'll be determined to get out of it. It's going to might take some time. It might take a little longer to climb that mountain. But at the end of the day, you're going to have the opportunity to climb that mountain, because if you believe in it, you're going to find a way. You're not the first one to go through something like this, and you're not going to be the last one. But if we
Ed,
give people those keys to success to make them and try to find it, that's what we're looking for throughout this whole piece right here.
well, I envision this platform now, and I was just looking at this. I look at the determined period, which is I'm wholeheartedly involved in. I look at
Yeah.
Sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to invite some people on this platform, because
Yeah.
we have to bounce things, and we're going to put certain key phrases in their backgrounds, and they're going to talk about those, and we're going to have a whole Zoom video conference of just different case words with people in it, backgrounds, and they're going to talk about those.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, so there are all these things we're going to work on. You know, I'm going to wrap this up because it's just, you know, we've been doing this now for 15 minutes.
Sure.
But I think that the number one thing we want to do is just, you know, continue those conversations along. And if you're interested in joining us on this, I have the Big Ed Sells Homes YouTube channel. We also put this on. We'll get some reels out there, Facebook, all your social media. You have Sturdy. What's your web mail?
It's www.sturdi.org, or I can always be followed on Instagram, STURDI31, or just Mark Sturdivant on Facebook. Come check me out.
Yeah. And also Facebook, I'm Ed Reagan, REGAN. My Instagram is Big Ed Sells Homes. So we're going to post this information out there. It's not just about like buying and selling a house. It's not just about, you know, looking and selling a program. It's actually getting to somebody's heart, helping them make that change, and actually working along with us, because not only are we, you know, sending this information out there, we're sharing our life experiences with each and every one of you, so you guys understand, you know, you're not the first one and you're not going to be the last one to go through something, but you have two people here that are willing to support you, work with you, and provide information the best of our ability to help to make that determination and improve your lives.
So I think way it's going to sum it up right now, Ed.
Go ahead.
To close out, you and I, okay, we're going to empower others to strengthen communities. Whether it's via selling homes to somebody, whether it's an inspirational message, whether it's being determined, we will empower others to strengthen communities.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that we use our experiences, our life experiences, what we've gone through, both in the educational and also, you know, building, understanding like the investing in real estate process and things like that. And I'll have other people on here that can help you get through the problems, but actually work towards solutions. If people are willing to do that, and if you develop a game plan, I think this is going to be great it's a win-win for everybody.
Sure, definitely.
All right.
Okay.
So
and I appreciate you this morning. I look forward to my 7:30 phone calls. We'll
listen,
keep,
man. I get up early. I'm sorry. I'm 7:30. I'm already an hour and a half at least into my day.
Nah, that's a good thing.
So now I just got to get back to the gym and become determined.
Yeah, and you will. And then you'll become sturdy strong.
Then it goes weak.
That's okay, Ed.
All right,
look,
man.
It's no better time than what?
The present. Let's get it done.
Let's get it done. All right, now.
Stay determined.
I'll
talk to you.
You too.
Bye.